my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I am Monica, the Kismet Chemist. If you are new to my channel, welcome to the family. I am honored to have you here. If you are returning, welcome back. I have missed you. All right, my loves. So today's reading is all about what you have become resistant to, or what you are resistant to. And the purpose and intention behind this is actually to transform a moment in my life into a teaching lesson. So I, since I was 22, was diagnosed with chronic illness. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and then we played around with just about every autoimmune disease imaginable, in and out of the hospital, multiple surgeries, bone marrow biopsies of lymph nodes and everything, looking for cancer before we found out that I had an immune deficiency. And this means that my body doesn't create the antibodies to fight certain bacterial illnesses. Now, for the most part, I've healed this deeply, but about 10 years ago, I had this overwhelming intuitive feeling that it was essentially chalked up to craziness at the time because there was no indicators of it. But I just knew, that at some point in my life, I was going to get to this point that I was going to hear antibiotic resistant. And this week, and the week that I'm filming this, when you guys see that, it's going to be a couple weeks later, a week later. But this week, I went to the doctor, and I have had this sinus infection since October that just it dug its claws in there and just didn't want to go anywhere. And they finally labeled it as antibiotic resistant. We had tried 3 rounds of antibiotics, or 2 rounds of antibiotics and 3 rounds of steroids. That's what it was. And so we had really tried our best to treat this. But sometimes on this journey, we really do try our best to heal something, to treat something, to do something, but we can become resistant to it. At the same time, along this journey, we have these fears, and these fears do their best. They try their best to knock us down, to break us down, to take us out of the game, to make us stop, to make us halt what we're doing, because we sit here and we spread light in the world, and we share love and share wisdom. And it can feel like maybe it's dark spiritual forces, but really it's just our own inner fears. And I really wanted to take a moment that was equally like, hey, I'm a psychic. I predicted this 10 years ago. Take that kind of moment that was equally like, hey, like, look, I just watched a prediction come true. As well as it was really painful to go through. It was really hard for me to get to this point. And it's really a very minimal thing. It's not a huge deal. But it felt very monumental to me because I have a lot of medical trauma, and it triggered a lot of emotional responses within me. And the way that I responded those couple of days after this happened, the day it happened and the day after, were not my best responses. But that doesn't mean that I'm not my best person at any given point in time. So this reading is really, truly about helping you understand the things that have held you back, the fears that have come out to play, and the ways in which we go along the spiritual journey and we don't realize that we're actually building resistance to certain things, resistance to certain fears, worries, concerns, ways of operating. And we don't realize it because we're always just kind of right there in the thick of it, right in the middle of all of this. I really wanted to take the time to be able to share with you guys this moment that challenged me, that triggered me, that left me feeling emotional, and that I took to spirit and said, how can I transform this? How can I use this? How can I aid others through my own awareness, through my own understanding? And this is what spirit brought to me. What are you resistant to? So if you are new to my channel, or you guys haven't caught this yet, I am channeling Reiki energy throughout these readings. You can choose to accept them. You don't have to. It's totally up to you, but I am channeling the energy throughout the entirety of the readings. Each of the piles has a Reiki symbol, and we have a collective Reiki symbol. For the piles, it will be a combination of the collective symbol that we're healing through, as well as your individual one. So instead of going over the entirety of the collective symbol now, I didn't want to give you guys a really long introduction. I figured I could just make it easier and incorporate it during the reading. And you guys can let me know in the comment section below if this works better for you, if you prefer it this way or not. But the collective symbol that we're working with is NOSA, and it's spelled G-N-O-S-A if anyone wants to Google it. And from here, I'm going to give you guys your piles, and then I will go ahead and say, get in touch with your intuition, get in touch with your guides, ask them for clarity, for peace, for understanding, and to lead you to the pile or piles that are right for you. So pile 1, we have Satya with the Rama symbol. Pile 2, we have Tejas with the Zonar symbol. And pile 3, we have Vata with the Seihai Ki symbol. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn some music on for you guys, and I will see you at your piles. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the Satya and the Rama symbol, this is your message about what you have now become resistant to. So we're going to actually start with the symbols, and I did want to remind you, if in case you weren't aware or in case you missed the intro, I am channeling Reiki energy through this reading, and if you choose to accept it, it will flow smoothly. Please make sure that you ground afterwards and drink some water for the next 24 hours or so to help that energy really cleanse your body and your energy field. If you choose not to accept it, no big deal. It's totally up to you. So I wanted to start with the interplay of these symbols with the Satya card. And if I'm butchering it, I apologize. This is from the Yogic Path Oracle deck. And I don't know the cards very well, so that's why I wanted to use them as lead cards so I could have some time with them, time to sit with them. Now the Satya card is a yogic card. It's one of the sections under yoga. And yoga is about work with the soul, the work that you do with the soul. And the yama that this is associated with is actually truthfulness. With Rama and Nosa in combination here, the energy that I'm getting here for what you've become resistant to is literally, and forgive me for sounding so blunt, but it's literally other people's bullshit. You've learned how to ground this higher level of awareness, of intuition, and of wisdom into your everyday life, grounding that energy down and aligning your own energy fields and choosing what is important and what isn't important, and really kind of laughing off some of the absolute absurdity that you find out in the world that other people would normally get upset with. It's this energy of you've gone through such a journey and Now you know what your truth is, and screw anyone who's going to come in and say that your truth is not true, because you understand that this world that we live in is a perception of, it's based off of the perceptions that we build. Our perception of the world is what our world is. Give me just a moment, guys. I'm going to go. Totally forgot I started my teapot and it's now whistling. So I'm going to go pour some tea and I will be right back. Okay, my loves, I am back. And this beautiful new tumbler that I got, and I just filled it with some passion tazo tea and my tangerine positive energy tea, which is what we're really doing here. We're finding some positive energy. So with the Rama, the Nosa, the Satya, working with the Yama of truthfulness, you have stepped into this ultimate inner self-awareness, this self-realization, this kind of huge breakthrough at some point in your journey of, you know what? I know my truth. I know my truth. I know my worth. I know who I am. I know what I'm here for. And it doesn't matter to me if the outside world doesn't understand it, because I understand it. Spirit understands it. And Spirit and I are on the same page. So you're grounding that wisdom, that truth into your physical existence, into everything that you do, and stepping more fully into the work your soul is being called to do, and you have been called to do here in this world. Some of you may be comedians, may want to be comedians, and have been living through this kind of journey of like, you can't be a spiritual comedian, or, you know, you have to grow up sometime, energy like that. I'm picking a lot of that up. Alternately, some of you may have learned that the best way to focus on your truth is to laugh. There is such a beauty and healing that comes when you allow yourself to just laugh. Laugh at the way that we take this world too seriously. Laugh at the way we take this life too seriously. Laugh at the absolute absurdity of the ways that certain things play out, and we seemingly have zero control, even though we all have free will, and we all make choices, and we all, you know, have control issues or instincts to some degree in our life. And it's learning how to just kind of see it all and laugh at it and be like, you know what? I'm going to focus on what is true to me, what I know within. And it's okay if other people want to feel these things, but you're not going to take me down with you. And that may come off really like negative or egotistical to some people, but I say more power to you. Like, seriously, if someone wants to tell you that you're not allowed to feel happy because this, and this are going on in the world, it's outrageous. Feel your feelings, feel the joy. I'm the kind of person where I don't want to engage with the news. I don't engage with a whole lot of mainstream media, anything anymore. I used to a lot, until I realized that all of it was just it was dripping with fear mongering everywhere. And so I just stopped engaging with it. When I stopped engaging with it, it stopped engaging with me. We all make the choice of what our truths are going to be. And it doesn't mean that we're blinding ourselves. And it doesn't mean that we're making light of a serious situation. It means that we're focusing on what we can control and what we can do. And that's a beautiful truth to have. That's a beautiful awareness to ground into your reality. So first of all, pile one, way to go. Well done. To be resistant to other people's opinions and beliefs like that, to just genuinely not give a fuck. It's very impressive, because I know that it's not, I can feel it in your energy. It's not the way that people perceive not giving a fuck. It's you do genuinely care. You just don't care to deviate from what your soul knows. And that's really, really beautiful. That is true strength and determination. That is true, like, uplifting. And you have a very, very beautiful energy. And I do want you to know that. So let's see what your soul is calling you for right now. We have the card 43 in enlightenment. See, that's exactly it. And we've got the flower of life along with the earth right there in the middle, just kind of shining out. It's you following your truth, following the path of enlightenment that you have within you, following that it's like that energy that makes you laugh. I'm actually seeing from like Brave with the Will of the Wisps, but each one, like, this is a really weird combination, and I got to give it up to your guides and my guides for giving this imagery and sound, because it's like those little Will of the Wisps, but every time they pop, it's like they suddenly drink a shot of giggle juice or whatever from oh my gosh, Magical Beasts. I had to pause for a minute and actually look up at my bookshelf because it's literally right behind me back there. So this is about you like following the things that make you feel light, that make you feel joy, that make you feel laughter and happy, knowing that it doesn't make you insensitive. It doesn't make you unempathetic. It actually makes you more so, because you understand the harder parts of life, and you understand that the best way to get through that is through the true enlightenment of laughter. And I just love your guys' energy. So let's see which divine goddesses you have helping you during this time. We have Freya with Radical Acceptance. That's the card 15. But I do notice these 88s. 88 may be significant. Maybe you were born in 88, or something significant happened in 88 that is impacting you. Maybe you were born in January, May, or June of 1988. If that's the case, take this as your confirmation. It doesn't have to be the case for this to be your reading, but I was just looking at the numbers and I was shown the calendar. So that could be something for some of you. And then we have 44 Rhea with Flow. And again, I was drawn to the earth, and Rhea is the goddess embodiment of the earth. And so you, by going through this radical acceptance that like, this is just the way that the world is. This is the way that things are here. This is the way that people perceive things, but I don't have to. I'm choosing to enlighten myself to a different side of the world, a different side of this existence, a different side of this. I'm going to radically accept what other people are doing. I'm going to radically accept these viewpoints that they have, because I respect their viewpoints, but their viewpoints are not going to be mine. Instead, my viewpoints are going to be that I can step into the state of flow. I can be enlightened and be in my truth, grounded in my truth, in my intuition, in my wisdom, and still laugh at dumb things like fart jokes and burps and things like that. I'm channeling my husband, I think. And no, he wasn't born in 1988. However, we do have master number 88 and master number 44, and that is a duplicate of itself. So that is an exponential. To me, that is exponential growth. It's moving forward. But we also have 6 and then 7 and then 8 and then another 88 here. So 8s may be very significant, and there's that progressive energy, and I get that energy a lot on my channel. So we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the 3 of Cups, the 6 of Wands. You guys are massively impressive. There is one more. Where is the last one? Spirit guides for pile 1. What is the final card for their message? There we go. See? The Queen of Cups. And on the back, we have the 10 of Pentacles. If I have never said this before, you guys are badasses. You guys are literally rocking at life, because what I'm seeing here is your divine feminines have finally come online. They have come online. Your divine feminine energy has really, really awoken within you. This is where that success has come from. The Rama, actually, with the spiral in the middle and the 2 ticks on to combine them, is actually talking about blending together and bringing together and integrating together the divine masculine and the divine feminine throughout your entire energy system. And this awareness and knowingness of doing this is really putting you in this awareness of both your emotions and the physical world, your mind and your inspiration. And in doing so, you're really pulling in really harmonious connections, a lot of celebratory moments. You have this clarity about what you are doing in your life. And it's literally like, you're going to do this. And because you're doing that, you're really shining out your own truth right now. And as you shine this truth out, you are going to be attracting these connections that are here just simply to celebrate your victories. They're not here to take from you. They're not here to harm you. They're not here to dissuade you from your truth. They're here to celebrate your joy, your peace, your prosperity, because that's where you are going to. All of this is moving towards the 10 of Pentacles, really. It's everybody's celebrating the victory that you have in moving towards the 10 of Pentacles and moving towards grounding this awareness, this wisdom in your life. Oh, thank you. I just wanted one. Look, double confirmation here with the 10 of Earth or the 10 of Pentacles. You have this success, this abundance, this wealth, this prosperity, this true blue like treasure coming to you. And I feel the same energy that I get a lot on my channel, which is don't overthink it, allow it to come, because you already have the wisdom, you have the clarity, you have the know-how, you have this. This radical acceptance that you've done in your life is not an easy thing to do, but because of it, you've stepped into some sort of divine flow that few people understand and most people try to get to. Look, we've got the Two of Forces with the Willow, the reversed Four of Scrolls with the Karmic Trench. And I don't normally take reversals, but I was shown this in reverse. And then the Five of Roses with the Garden. Okay, so this is telling me again, and on the back we have the Oracle of Delphi. It's that wisdom, that intuition, that knowingness that you have. You've used your strength to really be like, okay, I'm not going to do this karmic cycle pattern anymore. I know what I need internally. I know what I need to move forward. And I know the changes that are necessary for my life. And so you made those changes. You opened yourself up and really healed that inner child, gave to that inner child, got curious, got wonder, brought in that sense of wonder and awe, and allowed yourself to really be led forward into nothing but what your truth is in this world. And no one can actually tell you anymore what truth is. I feel like all I'm doing is saying, like, you know, I'm sitting here telling you these things, but you already know it. You already know it because you've knocked yourself out of the karmic trench. You're not sitting there digging yourself a path of sadness and misery and woe and struggle and strife and pain anymore, because you know that this life is something that we're meant to enjoy. And that is something that is really beautiful. It's like learning to experience this life on the plane of color is how I would describe it. It's like learning how to experience this life in all the abundant nature that is within each and every one of us, but it's seeing through the lens of the child, seeing through the lens of the innocent, through the lens of the pure. And people take advantage of that all the time, but your truth is that can't be taken advantage of. And when you sit in that truth, it can't be taken advantage of. You have this very grounded, high energy, and you know you've gotten past this point. You've really dug yourself down into the truth of who you are, into your strength, your wisdom, your knowing. And you know, the best part about a willow is that you can cut a branch from the willow when it is healthy like it is here and replant it, and it will grow into a tree. You know that what you give grows. You know that the joy that you have when given away freely in a healthy state grows. And because of that, you've knocked yourself out of the karmic trench. You're literally sharing for the sake of sharing. And that really brings you into this essence, this joy, this peace of just being in this. With the garden, I get the secret garden vibes of being in this mystical, magical place. But it's literally like just being in your everyday life is like a mystical, magical place. And it's because you've grounded your emotions and your truth into everything that you do. And in that way, you've become utterly resistant to other people's bullshit, to the bullshit that is within this world, to the ways in which we argue and we fight and we bicker and we strive and we strain and we hurt each other. You just don't do that anymore. And that's really very beautiful, pile one. So, all right, pile one. This is all I'm seeing and hearing for you guys. I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for enduring everything that you have and overcoming all that you have overcome, and for the view and the energy that you bring to the collective and to this world. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to your guides and mine for facilitating the connection between our energies. And I want to say thank you so much to Spirit. Spirit, the work that we do is always inspiring. It's always amazing to me. And I'm always so honored. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for walking beside me, giving me strength, giving me peace, clarity, and for helping me and allowing me the grace to work through everything and utilize my gifts to share your voice, your love, and your truth into the world. I am always so honored to do what I do with you. Thank you, Spirit. All right, Pile 1, if this resonated, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and let me know in the comment section below. Let me know how this resonated, and I would love to get that feedback. In my description box, there are links to my second channel, Rising Sign Messages, where I go through the moon cycles and help you guys really get attuned to the emotional energies of the changing moon, the changing cycles, and the energies within the collective, as well as your own personal rising sign. There are links to donate to my channel if you feel so inclined, links to book a personal reading, and to my author page on Amazon. So by all means, check out one or more of those links. I would be truly honored to hear from you guys, work with you more. All right, Pile 1, I love you all, and I will see you at my next reading. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose the Zonar symbol as well as the Tehaz card, this is your message about what you are resistant to. The way that I have been structuring this is to look at the lead information first. The blending of the Tehaz with the Zonar and the Nosa all together. And the Zonar and the Nosa, Zonar talks about deep cellular healing, healing from past lives, healing from past traumas. It's going as deep as one can go to get all of the pains up to the surface so that they can be fully released. And Nosa talks about clearing out of unwanted thoughts and finding enlightenment and finding the connection that you have to the higher realms, to your higher self, and really getting in touch with your intuition, your wisdom, your grace, your spirituality, but more so just your soul in this case. And with Tehaz, it talks about that spark that is you. It talks about your energy and your creativity and your intellect. And it talks about how you literally glow from the inside out when you are aware of this. So for me, what I'm picking up here, what your guides and spirit are showing me here, is that this has to do with what you've become resistant to is essentially trauma. It's overworking yourself. It's trying to control everything. It's trying to dictate the way that the healing journey will work, and instead learning how to fully surrender to it. We can resist surrender so often, but you've learned how to no longer resist surrender, but to resist controlling. It's like stepping into a state of utter trust, as though you have healed this level of depth within your own life and your own soul on this journey, that you found the absolute truth of who you are on a soul level, that spark that is you, and the purpose that you have here on this journey in this life. And because of that, you're really stepping fully into being a light in the world. And when we go through that, there's a phase where we feel as though we can fly, as though we're invincible and untouchable, and nothing will ever bring us down. And that's a beautiful phase to be in, because that's like what happens directly after a massive relief or release of your pains, of your wounds. You feel lighter, you feel freer, you feel alive again. But when you get into that state, it can be easy to fall back into patterns in which you overwork yourself and you feel like you have to take care of everybody else as well as yourself. And what you've become resistant to is that feeling that you have to carry the burdens of everyone else, and understanding that the energy and the spark that you have here in the world is that is so unique to you, that you're here to share that with the world. And as you share that, you actually heal that connection to your higher self more and more and more. And you step more fully into the truth of who you are and the truth of what your journey is meant to be, not anyone else's, just yours. Because you can only control what is yours to control, what is yours to feel, to think, to act, to react. That is the only thing that we have control over. And you have become resistant to people pleasing, essentially. You are no longer allowing other people to dictate the weaknesses or the strengths that you have. You know who you are. So no one is going to tell you what your path is. You know the truth of your path. No one is going to tell you what your energy can or cannot do, because you know the truth of your energy. And you have done this deep cellular healing, learning how to speak your truths, learning how to share your truths. And because of that, you've become resistant to the ways in which the world will try and tell you that you have to do this or do that or be everything for everyone. I'm hearing you don't cater to that anymore. And that's really, truly beautiful, because that is a true self-empowerment energy of knowing how deep your healing has gone and knowing that you are connected to your higher self and to the divine in such beautiful ways. And you no longer allow those same patterns and mindsets and thoughts that used to get you bogged down of what you can do for someone else and how you can help somebody else. So now when you do give of your light and give of that spark, you do it in a state of knowing your truth, knowing your beauty, knowing your strength, knowing your healing, and you shine that out into the world, knowing that that is actually helping spark other people to do what you've already done and to do it for themselves rather than for them to rely on you to do it for them. And that's very beautiful, because that lends and leads into a kind of sense of equality, in which you know that as you stand in this energy, there will only ever be an equal give and take with you and the other people in your life. And that's really, truly such an awe-inspiring moment for you to come to and for me to be able to channel for you. So thank you. So we're going to get a look at what your soul wants you to know right now for this reading first. Look, we have 34 with soul mating. So 34 reduces to a 7, and we are just about to go into a 7-year energetically during 2023. And this is really about knowing within yourself the worthiness of who you are, that you're attracting those people in, just like I said, and your soul is starting to connect with people who are really true to who you are and what you're here to do, but they don't take from you anymore. And this is because you no longer overgive. When you were in that state of overgiving, before you became resistant to overgiving, before you became resistant to people pleasing, when you were in that state, you were giving off a signal, a frequency to the universe saying, you know what? I can do this and I can do that and I can do this. And so it attracted people who were looking for someone to do it for them. But we're all here on our own journeys, and you have come into this awareness now. And because of that and the deep healing that you've done, you are really becoming one with your soul, and also bringing in other soulmates that are really truly here to help uplift you, to help fill your heart with even more than what your cup is already overflowing with. You've become resistant to the trauma response of people pleasing. And because of that, you've now learned how to open your heart without feeling this fear and really blossoming outward to really open up and welcome in true, healthy, loving connections. And I'm here to tell you, I know from personal experience that that can be a hard journey to take, but it is a very fulfilling and uplifting one when you get to that point. So let's see what Divine Goddess energy is here to help you. We have the card 25, Isis in Rebirth, and another 7 energy. So next year feels like a very big energy for you guys with this. And then we have the card 20 with Hecate, the in-between. Okay, so you may have felt a lot as though you have been in this kind of interim space. And as you go through a healing journey, as you're doing this purging and you're doing all of this stuff, you get placed into the in-between. But this is done not because you're not worthy of connecting. It's not done because you're indecisive or you're waffling between one or the other. It's done because you have earned the right to take a break. You've earned the right to rest. You've earned the right to surrender to what you cannot control and allow the divine to come in and to take over. And because of this, you're going through this process as you're in this in-between. You're going through this process of being reborn, of your magic being restored, of your energy being restored. You're rejuvenating yourself in such a beautiful way. And the more that you do that, the more you really exude the essence of your heart and your soul out into the world. It's very beautiful. We have the 3 of Swords. This is why you're in the in-between. You're rebirthing from a very, very painful heartache. Hanged Man, another 3. 3 of Wands, another 3. And the Hierophant. Okay. There is one more in here. Yep. The 6 of Pentacles. Just like I said, that 6 of Pentacles, that equal give and take energy. And then the 4 of Swords. See, the rest and the recuperation. That's the energy that you're in right now, and you're not resisting it anymore. In fact, you're resisting overworking yourself. You're resisting really pushing yourself because you know that just breeds more pain. So in this sense, what I'm seeing here is that as you move forward, you're going to see this shift of perspective of the ways in which you have felt as though you've been hurt, whether it's by society, by traditions, through, some sort of spiritual teacher, through some sort of spiritual interaction, whether it was through a marriage that fell apart or a relationship that fell apart, whether it was through the loss of something. This 3 of Swords could just simply be you made some decisions in your life that really led to some heartache. And so you needed to be able to shift your perspective. So you took a step back to shift your perspective to see what kind of future and what kind of vision that you wanted for yourself moving forward, to see what kind of structure you wanted moving forward. And as you put yourself in this Hanged Man position, because that's what it feels like, as you put yourself in this, the divine essentially said, okay, you're initiating, I'm going to come in and support and put you into the in-between as well energetically so that you can be reborn, so you can step up into your leadership role in your life, knowing what is right for you, knowing this, I'm worthy of these true, dedicated, committed connections, and ones that only give in equality, ones that only give and receive the same way I give and receive. And it's not about the actuality of the finer details of how, like, it's not like, okay, well, I'm giving exactly this, so they have to give it exactly this. It's knowing the intention behind it and the purity behind it, and understanding that as you have a pure intention, so too do the people coming into your life and interacting with you have a pure intention. And knowing 100% that you are more than worthy of giving yourself the rest and the rejuvenation that you need when you have gone through this situation. You've become resistant to essentially to overworking yourself, to overgiving, to overpleasing, to people pleasing. You've decided to really give yourself the breaks that you need and the time that you need. And that's a really beautiful thing. It's being in some sort of divine flow. It is very unique to you. Look, we have the World, and that again is another 3. It's ending this cycle of giving and giving and giving to everyone, because you know that the key to your energy is in rest, in allowing the universe to do the universe's job, because we're here for only what we're here for. Your soul journey is for you, and now it's okay for you to not be the one that has to do everything. It's okay for you to not have to always be that one that seeks all the ways to make everybody else better. You're worthy of equality, and you've really truly stepped into a state where there's nothing within your mentality that's going to deny you that truth anymore. We have, look, the 8 of Keys, the Master Artisan, is you've literally mastered this aspect of you, this people-pleasing aspect, you have literally mastered it. So you are not doing that anymore. We have the 8 of Scrolls with paths unknown and the 7 of Scrolls, intricacies and industry. And then we've had the 4 of Keys. I want to put this over here with clearing the way. And it came out in reverse, and I'm going to leave it there because with the clearing the way being in reverse, it's literally like you've cleared all your blockages out. You've cleared out what was holding you back from stepping fully into the truth of who you are, from stepping into the true light that you carry within. You went on this mastery journey and you decided, I'm going to be adventurous, but I'm going to be adventurous in a way that I become the master. And as you became the master, as you mastered your own energy, as you mastered your own healing, as you mastered your own wisdom, as you mastered your own connection to the divine, to the world, to other people, you really stepped into this leadership role. Now, this doesn't mean that you're out in the world teaching necessarily, but it does mean that you are leading by example. And that is so important because as more and more people start shining their truest light, shining their most authentic light, and they lead by example, they show people all of the intricate ways in which we're connected to each other and we can help each other build without having to sacrifice any part of who we are and what we want and what our vision is for the sake of someone else's, because everyone's vision is meant to be a part of their journey. And we're meant to be a part of each other's journey in the energy that we're meant to. It's kind of like only as much as we're meant to and no more, if that makes sense. And I really hope it does. But that's the message that I got. But you are really going through this rebirth part, and you've come, the way that your energy feels is like, you know what? I don't want to do this today. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go rest. And that's really beautiful because not enough people in this world recognize when it's time to take a step back, when it's time to pull back, when it's time to allow for this clearing to happen, when it's time for you to go back into the state of being connected to yourself. And to allow that connection to happen means that you have to understand that though we are connected to each other, we are still here on a soul journey for ourselves. And we have to weigh what our personal truths are and what is right for us and our flame against giving too much of ourselves to another person. And so you've really become resistant to doing that, to giving too much. And I'm here to tell you, it's very inspiring. It's incredibly inspiring just for you to do that. So thank you so much. Pile 2, this is all I'm seeing and hearing for you guys. I want to say thank you so much for being here, for everything that you have been doing for yourself on your journey. It's very, very inspiring. So thank you. I want to say thank you so much to your guides and mine for facilitating the connections between our energies. And thank you so much to Spirit. Spirit, this is always so amazing for me to come here, to sit here, to commune with you, and to share these messages with the collective in a state of love, in a state of peace and surrender. And I am truly, truly awed and humbled by the work that we do. And I am so, so grateful. Thank you. All right, Pile 2. If this resonated, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming readings. In the comment section below, let me know how this resonated. Let me know, or let other Pile 2s know that you guys are out there. And in the description box, you're going to find links to my second channel, Rising Sign Messages, as well as links to donate, to book a personal reading, and to my author page on Amazon. So feel free to check out one or more of those links. All right, you guys, I love you all. And I want to say thank you again one more time. I will see you at my next reading. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. If you chose the Vata card as well as the Say Hi Key room or symbol, sorry, this is your message about what you are resistant to. So with the Say Hi Key, the Nosa, and the Vata combined together, the Vata is an Ayurveda. And this is a blend of the mind and the body. It's taking one step closer to holistic healing of the self. The Vata Ayurveda is the airy dosha, the dosha that is the most mental. And with Seihai Ki here, as well as Nosa, Nosa talks about your higher self and your connection to the higher self, spiritual enlightenment, spiritual awakening and awareness, and this deep awareness of your own intuition, your wisdom, and your knowledge all kind of coming together and anchoring down into your physical form. With Seihai Ki, we have the emotional and the mental healing rune, and it is about finding balance and harmony within the emotional and the mental bodies. With the Vata Ayurveda, we are working with the air energy, the divine inspiration, the divine wisdom, the ways in which your mind can pull you in 1.5 million different directions, and choosing the direction that you want to take and allowing it to expand without overwhelming you. It's the difference between a gentle breeze that will make the leaves swirl around and make you feel as though you're on this magical trail of wonder, finding what the wind is bringing to you, versus being caught up in the middle of a tornado and having nothing but chaos and destruction around you. And so what I'm getting from this combination of Vata and Seihai Ki and Nosa is that you may be a channeler who really does tap into such divine wisdom, but have in the past had a hard time grounding your energy, had a hard time knowing which way to go and which inspiration to take. And because it was a situation where your mind and your emotions were so tripped up and caught up, it required a lot of mental and emotional healing, separation of the two, and an understanding of how they work and how they flow. And with the Nosa symbol, it helps clear that mental clutter out so that you can get more in touch with the true nature of who you are. So the monkey mind doesn't impact the heart and the core of your being and the truth and the purity of what you are here to do in this world and what inspirations you're meant to follow. And even though we're a little bit into this message, I did want to make sure that I mentioned that in case you skipped the intro, I am channeling Reiki healing energy using both the Seihai Ki and the Nosa runes or symbols for you and their energies for you, along with this message to help you realize this awareness in your life. You can choose to accept the energy or not. It's totally up to you. You don't have to. If you do choose to accept it throughout this reading, please make sure that you ground afterwards and drink a lot of water for the next 24 hours just to keep that cleansing and clearing of your body. But going back to the Vata and the Nosa and the Seihai Ki talks about harmonizing and unifying the left and the right brains, the hemispheres of the brains. But the Nosa talks about the conscious and the unconscious minds coming together and harmonizing together. So this is about all aspects of the ways in which your mind works coming into harmony so that you are now resistant to anyone coming in and impacting your mindset, your wisdom, your knowing, your ability to channel and move forward in your life. No one can actually do that because you are so mentally fortified and unified and blended of your energies and so self-aware that you see the tornado coming 1 million miles away and step to the side to let it do what it needs to do. But you make sure that you aren't in its path. And if there were to be a tornado, and this may sound kind of weird, but if there were to be a tornado, it would be one that you initiate in your life for the sake of fertility. That's just what I heard. I actually saw somebody like, I need this tornado. Please bring this. It's like when a tornado hits, it clears the topsoil and it brings up a lot more of fertile soil. And so sometimes we recognize that we need that moment. We need that energy in our lives and we can ask for it. But that level of clarity and awareness in and of itself speaks to the amount that you have really cleared out your mental space and unified it with the truth of your soul. And that's very, very beautiful. So let's see the message from your soul right now. Look, 37 in focus. That's exactly it. You know how to focus your thoughts and your intentions into the right direction, into the direction that is right for you. And as you do this and you actually share this part of yourself, this essence of yourself with the world, the more that you share this wisdom that you have and this focus and this perception, the more you actually spark that healing in others as well. It's very beautiful, but your soul is letting you know that you are on the right track. What you focus on is what you bring about in your life, and you are focusing on all the right things. You really are. You have become very, very resistant to the kind of mental pressures of the outside world, the ways in which people say you have to move and do and think and behave and believe. You've really become very resistant to those. You've become resistant to having distractions come in and really pull you off your path. You have become resistant to not taking the time that you need to focus on your own healing. And that's really beautiful, because when you are that level of self-aware, when you have that high of a level of self-awareness, that you know how to really focus in on what the most important things are at any given point in time, you can teach a lot of people such beauty just by being you. So let's see what goddess energy is here helping you today. We have 12, Ellen of the Ways with patterns. Yes, absolutely. And 26, Kali with liberation. I love that so much for you guys. And the best part about, maybe not the best part, but the best part to me about this is that none of the numbers match each other. So you don't have any repeating numbers. This is saying that you recognize where the patterns of thinking were so that they don't get caught up. You've liberated yourself from those mental cycles and patterns, and you're able to see a lot of ways that people fall into patterns of behavior, patterns of belief, patterns of wounding, and how they can heal that. It's cutting away the excess, cutting away what doesn't need to be there anymore. And as you do that, you recognize the patterns of behaviors or interactions that are not good for you, for your heart, for your path, and you're helping other people learn how to focus on themselves and their healing and their higher self, and unifying these parts of themselves in a very beautiful way. All right, what else do we have for pile 3? Okay, we've got the 2 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, the Judgment card, the 6 of Pentacles. I can get one more. And Temperance. That's amazing. Okay, we've got the 4 of Cups. See, with the 4 of Cups, the 2 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, what I'm getting from this is a lot of this awareness. With the 4 of Cups, which is kind of that underlying energy that you're going through right now, is this awareness that one of the patterns that you're breaking through, that you're becoming resistant to, is melancholy and apathy. It's learning that while there are going to be losses and pains and hardships in our lives, we can choose to walk through this life being blinded to the blessings of them, or we can choose to see the silver lining and see the blessings. And this lesson, this awareness, this kind of resistance to falling down the same rabbit holes and this falling to the same patterns and the same thought processes from before, the journey to this point was literally feeling so blinded and so broken and bruised and unable to see which way was up and where to go and how to move, because of a sense of being just out of touch with yourself or with others, could have led you down a path of fighting all the wrong battles, fighting battles with things and spaces and people and thoughts that you just didn't need to. And when you come into that 5 of Swords energy and you understand that, you know, you pick your battles wisely, that's you making that judgment call of what truly matters in your life, that liberation, that cutting away anything that does not bring you balance and harmony and peace and temperance and patience and healing is not meant for you on this journey. And you're learning that. And in the past, it may have felt very painful when these things would fall away. And now it's kind of like, if it falls away, I know the universe has my back. I know the universe is going to bring the next thing in. This can be people, but this can also be projects. It can be jobs. It can be animals, like pets. It can literally be anything. For a lot of you, I feel like this is just your way of perceiving yourself and the world, and how much it has changed over the course of the past 4 or 5 years. Wow, you guys are the only ones that got more than one card out of this deck. So we have the Moon, the Five of Fire, the Messenger of Air, and the Emperor. Okay, it's about the illusions of having to compete, having to compare, having to battle for your ideas and your thoughts and your wisdom to matter in the world. It's knowing that throughout all of this, as you make that judgment call, that if you do not give to me as I give to you, if this is not balanced, if this is not, if there's no reciprocity here, if we're not both working on alchemizing things within ourselves, and then we're coming together in this peace and this patience and this awareness of how we can help each other and how we can expand, I'm not doing this. And it isn't always about people. I do get a lot of energy about other people with this pile, but it's knowing that the greatest illusions of our lives are that we have to compete to matter, that we have to compete to be heard, that we have to compete to have our ideas and our notions and our wisdom have a firm place here. But you have realized that just simply isn't the case. And so because of that, you've become very resistant to the messages that would trigger you into feeling as though you have to compete with anybody else, because you know that there is only one you. And this, again, goes back to, thoughts and notions and ideas. And this can even be about your idea about connections. It's knowing that you're meant for what you're meant for, and you don't have to battle your way to it. You can just simply say, okay, I'm making a judgment call. This is what is right for my life. This is my clarity. This is my peace. This is my wisdom. And this is where I'm moving, and moving from there. And I still get this energy that you guys are gifted. So this may be about, how you do your work and what you do. It's making a judgment call of your own divine inspiration, your own divine wisdom, and where to move forward from there, and what patterns need to be cut away, what needs to be liberated from your life. We've got 5 of Scrolls with diversity. There's a lot of 5 energy. And then I had said, there wasn't repeating numbers, but I've got 3 of Scrolls, setting your course on the back. And the only reason why I was drawn to this is because they're both Scrolls energy. This is all mentality. This is about communication, about everything that you're seeking. And look, he's literally looking at this rainbow, but he's also looking at this pyrite. Like, it's setting your course for the gem that is you. Knowing that who you are is a diverse blend of all of these different perspectives, these energies, these uniquenesses, and you're here to bring diversity to whatever it is that you're creating. And once you have gotten to that point of clearing your mind and clearing that confusion and that cloudiness, there's not a single person that could ever have dissuaded you or could ever dissuade you from engaging in the fullness of all the different parts of who you are, because you know your course, you know where you're headed, and you have that clarity. And you have that clarity because you've become utterly resistant to other people's beliefs and opinions, other people's words, and the ways that they don't match their actions, or the ways that people speak things and never back it up. You just don't fall to that anymore. You understand that we are all diverse and that there are multifaceted people in this world, but you also understand that because of that, you choose where you go and how you move and what you do. You've set your course for what brings you joy. You've set your course for the blessings, not the hardships. You've set your course for this awareness and this unification within yourself and this mental fortitude that there are many people who admire you for having, but not just that. There are many people who are striving and struggling to get to where you are. So this resistance to other people's beliefs and opinions and thoughts and projections is very beautiful, because you are very grounded in yourself. You have grounded that monkey mind into a very focused, let me take this and create with this. And That's quite beautiful. Okay, pile 3. This is all I am seeing for you guys. I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the work that you're doing in your own life and for others. And thank you so much to your guides and mine for facilitating the connection between our energies. And I want to say thank you so much, Spirit. You always show up, you always call, and you always walk right beside me and everyone else throughout this journey. You remind all of us of what we contain and what we can do and who we are at our core, because we are you and you are us and we are love. And I am so grateful that I get to be here and do this every single day. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. All right, pile 3. If this resonated, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming readings. In the description box, there are a few links to my sister channel, Rising Sign Messages, as well as to donate to book a personal reading and to my author page on Amazon. So be sure to check one or more of those links out and let me know in the comment section below how this resonated. I would love to hear from you. All right, pile 3, thank you again for being here, and I love you. I'll see you all at my next reading. Bye.